Come on. There it is.
Hello, internet. Okay.
Hi.
We're interneting.
On the internet.
Everybody a couple minutes to catch up with us, unless they're super awesome and they've managed to tap into YouTube.
Jumped on it.
Super awesome. Right away. Heck yes, they are. And I'm going to open up the chat. So why did it do that?
What happened?
I think we're fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. Chat is now open. Everybody's in the group chat.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
There we go. We are Nerd Chat, and we are having Nerd Chat with you. We are the PDX Broadsides from Portland, Oregon. I'm Dr. Jessica. This is Hollyana. This is Christian. And other two groups, introduce yourselves by order of size.
Oh,
I guess
wait, smallest first or biggest?
Yeah, with small or big? You need to tell us
I think we need number of members.
Ascending or descending?
Oh my.
Okay, well, we'll go. Hi, we are the Misbehavin Maidens.
Hello.
This is...
Lucky Annie, hello.
I'm Flint.
And I'm Rouge. Hi.
And we will be joined later by
Saber.
Yeah.
Who's on her way.
She's with her other band.
Other band. We will talk about them.
Betrayal.
And then I'm Xander.
And I'm Bonnie.
And together we're the
Library Bards.
Hey.
Practice that.
Choreography.
That's a meme now.
Every time we say, and we are the PDX Broadsides, like 3 beats later, Holly's like, Broadsides! I never know when it's coming.
Oh, Saber's in chat like a sucker.
Hey.
Yeah, we can't pull up the chat for some reason.
Our chat isn't showing on here either, but Christian's got it running, and so Christian, you'll let us know if there are relevant things.
Yeah, we're watching it on YouTube.
Yeah, we're just watching on YouTube on a delay.
Loading there, but it's loading for you.
Oh,
Got it. I can
keep it open.
Hey, I see jazz hands.
There we go.
jazz hands.
hands.
All right.
Lots of jazz hands. Okay, good, great. We're all doing a nerd chat tonight because, as you may or may not know, I'm presuming you probably know because you're here. We are all kickstarting nerd bands right now, actively on Kickstarter because
That's the best place to
kickstart.
kickstart.
Yeah.
We haven't slept in weeks.
Too real. Too real.
We got palpitations.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some questions that were tweeted as well. So just.
Oh, great. It is the Kickstarter is kind of the best worst decision I think any of us had made. So Bards, it's your first Kickstarter?
Yes.
Yes. We have no idea what we're doing.
One of us.
And for us, it's number 2. We did trust issues 2 years ago, and now we're doing relatable content. And the Maidens.
It's big 3.
The pros.
Oh, yeah.
Just what I expected.
At least pretend to be a little more confident
I wish there
about
was
it.
booze in this.
It's funny, all of the members of the Misbehavin Maidens are actually 16, but doing a Kickstarter ages you by 7 years. Every time you do it.
We're like 80 now.
Yeah. Hello.
I don't know. I'm just Benjamin buttoning it through life.
Yeah,
right.
Seriously, if you look at pictures of me at 14, I look about 60.
She does.
And
It's impressive.
now I look more age appropriate.
You do. You look like a middle-aged, like Midwestern mother in your like
in my
middle school
pictures.
photos. Yes.
That's what Minnesota does to you. You know.
Oh yeah.
Did you
I'm
have,
from
like,
Wisconsin originally.
Oh, no kidding. What part?
Nice.
From Freedom, Wisconsin. It's near Appleton or Green Bay.
Oh, yeah. I'm from Rochester, so near the Wisconsin area.
Yeah.
And I went to college in Moorhead. I'm from Minot, North Dakota.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We're learning about everybody ourselves. This is great.
All right, but who's the Southerners in the room?
It's you.
Just me.
Kind of.
Yay.
I mean,
Wait,
Florida.
hold on.
And
Does
Christian.
Florida count?
I'm from Kentucky and Alabama.
Oh yeah.
The
You
good
can't
part.
be from 2 states simultaneously, Christian.
You can if you're from
Yeah.
the South.
I can do anything.
And I never
I'm
had
from the
Portland.
South.
I'm from Maryland, so whether I'm a Southerner or a Northerner depends on who I'm talking to, because
That's
Northerners
true.
think I'm Southern and Southerners think I'm Northern.
It's
That's
true.
fair.
Maryland
So-
is below the Mason-Dixon line, but
But
Yeah.
you
I
only
grew up
think of it as the South until you meet real Southerners, and then you're like, oh no, I'm very Northern right now.
yes, no, I mean, we have sweet tea. We can say that much.
We have sweet tea, and I say y'all. That's about
Yeah.
that's about as close as I get.
Yeah.
But then you
I
meet
grew up
someone
on
from
a
New
bayou.
Hampshire. Like,
Oh.
Uh,
sorry, what was that, Bonnie?
I said I grew up on a bayou, so
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
nowhere
Legit.
close to that.
in Louisiana. Yeah.
Holly's a unicorn as far as Portland's concerned because in Portland, if you ask someone like, "Oh, hey, where are you from?" Like they're never from Portland. When you find someone who's actually from Portland or from like the Oregon area,
They
it's
make you
like,
write a book about it.
It's the same in Los Angeles. It's like if you find someone from LA, we're
It's
like,
a unicorn.
wow, let's hug you and feel what it's like to be a local.
Yeah, fun fact, everyone you meet in DC is from Ohio for some reason. Like,
Yeah.
I swear 90% of the people I met my first 5 years here were from Ohio.
It's the people who weren't able to become astronauts and get that far away from Ohio.
This was the second place
Yes.
option.
the trajectory brought them back down.
So we have a
Yeah.
couple of questions. We put out a call and answer like, hey, do you have questions for these Kickstarting nerd bands? And I'm going to ask one of them, and I understand that some of you have some questions too. So let's get to kickstart questioning.
Alrighty.
Cool.
All right. First question comes from Michael Nichols, and he says, "What is your favorite board game?"
Oh, that's like
So we have to rule out Dungeons and Dragons because that's
Right.
tabletop and we're
Yeah.
That's
a
different.
board game.
oh.
That makes
I
it
know.
harder, but
Why would someone ask that? That's it. Like in Mighty Python when you go onto the bridge and it's like, what's your favorite color? And you're like, purple, no blue. It's like that with a board game. What's your favorite board game? And it's like I would have to like sit there and be like, oh crap.
No, it's Betrayal Legacy for me.
nice.
Betrayal at House on the Hill for me, so close.
Yes.
Okay.
It's hard to like pick between your favorite children. It's so
Yeah,
true. For
This
sure.
is Sophie's choice. Good God, man.
Is that your favorite?
Yes.
It's Sophie's Choice. My
That's your board game.
Is that, is that a board game? It is now.
No, it's my favorite life
I hope
game.
not.
That's the worst board game.
Sophie's choice. The board game.
Someone kickstart that fucking thing.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, we have to remember, we can
Yeah, sorry, we're the 18 plus bands. We're trying.
The board game would be like the tagline would be like, "Be prepared to betray everyone you love."
This is the game
Right.
you never
Oh.
thought you'd play.
No,
I think I probably gotta go
New
with,
from
I'm gonna go
Hasbro.
with Pandemic. I got Pandemic because I like
Pandemic's
co-op
good.
games.
oh, pandemic.
I've
like
never
playing-
won a game of Pandemic.
I'm actually really good
What's
at
the one with the
Pandemic.
tiny pandas?
What?
I like that one. I like the one with the little pandas.
Which one?
Takenoko?
Yeah,
Takenoko.
I can play too, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You have a favorite board game?
I'd go Betrayal House on the Hill too. That's it.
Yeah.
Wow, a lot of betrayal. A lot
I
of
got
betrayal
very
in
good.
here. A lot of
I always
betrayal.
end up the bad guy.
You do.
Yeah.
So does that.
Yeah.
So does Denise.
Trader.
She's always, she always ends up being
I've like
the traitor.
3 times
Yeah.
I've played.
Then I just know it's not me.
I mean, if you've got a type, try it.
Typecast is death.
It's a cliche because it's real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, it's true. I don't know. I for me, it's the classics. I can't get away from Catan. Like I will play Catan.
I
every
love
day.
Settlers of
I almost said Catan too because it's very good.
It's
I
fun.
know. Like I felt bad. I'm like, I know that I love other board games, but when I think about my favorite, I don't mean to be basic, but I love Catan.
No,
Okay,
for
I
me,
think I'm gonna be even more basic and have to say Clue.
I was gonna say, like,
Oh,
basically
yeah.
more like Monopoly.
It was the first game I ever loved. So
Oh.
I'm just gonna have to stick with Clue.
You
and
never
that's the
forget your
thing.
first.
Oh, no. And that's the thing with like saying something like Settlers or Clue. It's not about the game per se. Like the game, it's like, okay, it's a good game, whatever. I think it's about the memories you make while you're playing the game. And so
Sure.
because Settlers is so popular and like fun with big groups and stuff, I remember just playing Settlers and just I remember like whenever I think of Settlers, I think of happy memories.
Right.
And that's what makes me love the game. Except, when they, I don't have any sheep to
Finish that.
sorry.
They made along the way.
Oh, so sweet.
It's just
The
really
ones that moved along the way, did you say?
My favorite board game was the friends we made along the way.
Yeah.
The wood
Yeah.
was inside us all along.
Oh God.
The longest road.
Well, this has been fun. Good night, ladies. Bards, you said that you had a question from the Twitter. Would you like to share with the class?
Oh, it was just someone that said they tweeted
I can find
questions,
it.
so we're gonna find
Let
it.
me see.
Okay.
I don't know if they tweeted it at us. They might have tweeted it in the like.
In the general tweetosphere.
Yeah.
In general Twitter.
There's a couple of them.
Oh,
Lauren
there we go. Yeah.
What's up, Lauren? Thank you for the questions.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's who was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
okay,
got one
'em.
then.
Okay.
Oh boy. If y'all could put on a musical together, what existing musical would you perform, and what would be the theme if you wrote one from scratch?
Mean Girls. Mean Girls for sure.
Mean Girls. Oh my god, I want to do Mean Girls.
Not Legally Blonde?
Legally Blonde is also very good.
No,
Have
we already wrote a song called Fetch. So
And it never caught on.
it never caught on.
Have you guys ever seen the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee?
Yes.
yes.
I saw it here in town. It was.
I feel like that would be a good one for us too, because it's a very ensemble show and like everybody kind of gets their moment type of thing.
I have two ideas. You're in town or Bat Boy.
Bad
Oh,
Bat
Bat
Boy the
Boy.
musical. Have you not heard Bat Boy the musical?
why?
Love your bad boy. Touch your bad boy. No.
I'm with you.
I'm down.
I think Too Many Spider-Men is my pick.
So we all plummet
Turn on
toward
the
that.
dark.
There's a new Princess Bride musical about to come out, so I vote for that one even though I
What?
haven't seen it yet. Yep, they're bringing Princess Bride to Broadway.
I had no idea.
I knew this because I love it.
I'm
I'm
looking forward to it.
musical they keep
I'm looking
teasing.
forward to the big anybody want a peanut dance number.
Yes, please.
And it better be a tap dancing number.
With like 100
Anybody
children dressed
wanna
as
be-
Mr. Peanut
Yes, yes.
with twirling canes and everything on down the Yes. Yes, I'm here for it.
Okay, what about writing one from scratch? Theme.
Yeah, a theme for one from scratch.
I think if you wrote one from scratch, it would just be an ode to your favorite swear word.
Yeah, probably. I mean, just be I can't say.
We're getting really bad at this.
We're trying to practice for our double click shows next week and
Yeah.
not swearing casually. It's hard.
It's really hard. How about that? I'll be silent.
Apologies to people in chat.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Kickstarter the musical.
Oh,
no.
There it
It's
is.
a drama, actually.
It's a drama. There's a lot of crying.
drama.
Oh yeah.
A lot of crying. A lot of
A lot of
stress,
like
Yeah.
stress eating.
Ooh, and the big like ballad like torch
Dramatic.
number is I will kickstart you until my dying day. Like come
Yeah.
what may, for
Yeah.
what may. Like the whole thing. Like,
It's getting written right now.
It's
It'll be a
happening.
dying
Yeah.
day because you die at the end of the Kickstarter.
I mean, some of us do end up in the hospital after Kickstarter.
This is
you know.
true.
You have to live to enjoy it.
no. It would be like Cell Block Tango, where we'd all be like,
Whoa,
behind-
no. We can't cover this.
From our
Hold
hospital
on.
bed.
How did you end up in the hospital from Kickstarter?
Oh.
I mean, it's a correlation, not a causation situation. But our first Kickstarter, yeah, I didn't make it to our CD launch party because I was literally in the hospital and quarantined. And then I couldn't go to our first Dragon Con because I was hospitalized again. From a very bad stomach infection. So. that
So
was a
you're not
problem.
allowed to play Pandemic.
Yeah, I got better.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of Pandemic. I got better eventually.
We're glad that you didn't die.
Yeah.
Agreed.
We have so many organs to donate to go to Dragon Con.
I do. We have a running joke that every time we get invited to Dragon Con, it's because I've lost an organ. I'm telling them now, I've run out of vestigial organs. I can give no more.
Stock up on the black market.
I did last year, the day I was having surgery.
Yeah.
Sweetie, we teach these in biology and I'm good with a scalpel. How
She
you
can,
doing?
she can take anything out that she wants.
You don't need your pinky.
Jessica.
That'll be the whole dramatic part of the musical is when you get put back into the hospital and we're just like, no, we must have been the Kickstarter. And then we do like this big number of like, why? And what organ will she need?
It's starting to sound like Sweeney Todd, which I'm also down with.
No.
I'm in.
Someone kickstarted my uterus into the sun.
I want there to be some God in the Machine ending where it's like Warren Buffett or somebody like on the internet singing a song about serendipity and finding the like lucky Kickstarter campaign that he's going to
He's going to completely fund.
and change the world. and then he'll show up at their Kickstarter party and be like, hello, it is me, Serendipity.
Serendipity.
Oh.
Dangerous Sex Machina.
Yeah.
And we could call the song, making it rain,
Yeah.
like, but it's like singing in the rain, but with money.
Mhm.
But
Oh, we
I
get
need
money, like the guns that just shoot money out. Like,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
and then everyone in the audience gets hit with T-shirts because we'll have giant T-shirt cannons. Because I just want to do that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to kickstart
Fulfilling
the
your
musical.
voice. Tell the backers shooting things off into the
That's
audience.
the fulfillment song.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fulfillment, but what about
It's
the
like Blue Man
fulfillment
Group.
in here?
Right.
no, I meant inside and also with buttons.
What about
My
the
Kickstarter
emotional
is fulfilled,
postage?
but I feel so empty.
Don't load a cannon with buttons.
Here's your
Or
change.
you.
That's what we call grape shot.
Okay. Cannon though.
Oh, dice cannon.
Ow.
Oh, but I want one.
Right, me too.
I smell a stretch goal.
Just put all the dice, wrap it in bubble wrap, and shoot that. And it's just like bubble wrap hitting people. And they're like, "Oh, I get bubble wrap," because not only do they open it up and get the dice inside, and they're like, "Ooh, dice!" but they also get to pop the bubble wrap.
See,
You
idea.
are delirious.
I would just take a nap.
This is all good. This is good content. This is fun.
Content.
If you're at home and you're watching this right now, again,
Thank you.
thanks for here, where we think that we're very funny. Obviously, all of us. If you go to the description on this video, just down below, you will be able to find the Kickstarter links for us, for the PDX Broadsides, for the Library Bards, and for the Misbehavin Maidens. Please back and share so that we can make albums and we can make them better. The Bards are in stretch goals, Maidens are in stretch goals. We are at 70% funded.
Yay!
So
Fund the heck out of them, please.
We're not stretching yet.
we're not stretching yet, but we would like to make like Stretch Armstrong and get very awkward and weird.
Big arms.
You only have enough to back one Kickstarter. Give
all
it to the
do big
PDX
arms.
Broadside.
Big arms.
We can't all do big arms.
The stretch goals number would be a nice Bob Fosse number where everyone in really awkward
Okay,
positions.
we're off the music.
Oh, okay. I was not writing this.
Oh, this is
Yes.
happening now.
Oh yeah, this
That
is good.
That was an
Somebody
excellent
just added
question.
as a Kickstarter like stretch goal towards the end. If anybody wants to see that musical, you're gonna have to fund us all.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We
A
do have
joint stretch goal.
We do have another question from Facebook from Jonathan Gold, who is a fantastic human being, and he says, "What is your favorite karaoke song?"
Oh.
Sophie's choice again. I know.
No,
So
I got no. I know mine.
I already know this one. There's only one song that I ever bother to perform when I do karaoke, and it's a song called "I Like You So Much Better When You're Naked."
Well,
That's great. And they just have that?
So it's all about, it's like a rock song, and it's this girl being like, she's so nervous around this guy, and at the end, she's like, you know what? I don't know why, because you're not that special, but I do like you so much better when you're naked, and that's the entire chorus.
That's amazing.
wow.
It's really good. You should look it up. It's actually, that's as dirty as it gets. It's not actually any filthier than that. It's really
Sure.
funny.
I am terrible at karaoke, just like bad. Every experience has been like just dreadful, but there's one song I can pull off, and it is the Time Warp from Rocky Horror.
Yes!
And I can do all the voices from it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Have you
I'm
done
a junkie, but
have you done like personal karaoke where it's like what Eastern style where you're just in a room
karaoke
with your
box,
friends?
yes.
Karaoke box. That's way better, I think, than like the public whatever.
Not me. Give me the public.
I like either, but yeah, I like going with friends. But oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm a karaoke junkie, so I do that all the time. But my go-to probably is I really like "What's Up" by Four Non Blondes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll
I
get
like-
everyone going.
I like harmonizing to that song.
Yeah.
Right, me too.
And picturing He-Man singing it.
Yeah.
Yes,
The Rainbow.
yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. My go-to karaoke song is Bjork. It's "Oh So Quiet." Because it like that swing style is really good for my voice. So like I would
And you
tend
like to yell.
and I also like to get up in a really noisy dive bar and shush everyone. It's awesome. I'm like shh, shh, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, this this girl's so rude. And then all of a sudden I start singing, they're like, oh, it's a part of the song. Okay. But I'll literally walk up to people and be like, shh.
Yeah.
And then I also like doing Somebody to Love by Queen. But I think the Bjork song is my go-to.
My go-to is I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan. Because
Yeah.
again, it gets everyone going and I really get into it and it's fun to do.
That's
I mean, it gets everyone. And, I mean, if you're at a karaoke bar and someone starts singing that and you
If you're
don't
at a con,
sing along,
everyone starts
I mean,
singing
are
it.
you really alive?
Yeah.
My go-to is All That Jazz from Chicago.
Yes.
Good one.
Yeah, it's fun. It's right in my range. And one of the last times I sang it out at karaoke, there's a bar here in town that does stripperoke. So you go up on stage and you sing the song. Sorry, kids at home. And there are adult talented dancer ladies who dance around you, and the adult dancer ladies really like it when you do theater standards really well, and
Yeah.
for fun. Yeah,
I think I need to go to this bar.
That's such a great idea.
Come to Portland.
Yeah, I want
Goes
to.
two ways.
Yeah.
More bars and strip clubs per capita than anywhere else.
yep, in North
Really?
America.
Mhm.
Yep.
Well, technically that's not true anymore.
Oh.
Where we get
Who
beat by
Have
like
it now.
Springfield, Oregon.
Oh well, that's because they have 7 people and a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cheap.
No, 3 strip clubs.
That's cheap.
Library Bards, though, in LA, Library Bards in LA, there is adult entertainment star karaoke night. I forget where,
Oh, yeah,
but I can find out.
Sardos.
How do
Yeah.
you know?
I know things, Xander. That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
Okay.
We should be
Including
friends.
and karaoke. And yeah.
Holly, what's yours?
I have a tendency to do Joan Jett, I Hate Myself for Loving You.
Ooh, that's very good.
I have a tendency to be just sort of like cute, but when I sing that song, I'm not. And then I like to wail.
We
But
all
then I
like
get to
wail.
the like musical break and I like dance like this.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
like a meerkat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's thematic.
Yeah.
Christian,
On brand.
Mine is We Are in Love by Harry Connick Jr.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
wow.
jazzy number. It's a
Oh.
jazzy number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's from Louisiana.
Yes, he is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, he
he's
is.
a favorite son.
Are
He's
you
out.
related?
He's actually out in Florida shooting a movie with my friend right
Xander,
now.
they're not all related.
I think they are.
Oh, we are. It's true. We also have, I know you guys are talking about like bars per capita and stuff, but we have drive-through daiquiri stands.
I know.
So
Yeah.
Can't compete
I
with
think
that.
we win for bars.
We can't
Just
even
'cause we have
Might be in the
drive-through bars.
worst location.
Yeah,
I don't know, guys.
Something.
We have drive-through bars to where their idea of a closed container is putting a lid on the cup.
yeah.
Okay, we
And
need to
they-
go.
Yeah.
It's like, be responsible, everybody.
I want an alcoholic icy.
Right?
Do we have any other
was
questions? for
alcohol.
this chat?
Boozy Frosty sounds really good about now.
Kahlua.
Oh.
I don't know what just happened.
It's
That was
Boozy Frosty.
that is
Boozy Frosty.
Boozy Frosty made with Kahlua. Maidens are like plotting our after chat
Yeah.
snack.
I'm going to go
I wanna
back
drink now.
after this is done, and I'm going to just sound clip out that sound that Flint just made, and I'm going to make that somebody's ringtone. That's going to happen.
I'm glad to.
Actually, speaking of boozy
Love your
alcoholic
slithers.
drinks, that was a question that came up on Facebook. Sunny Larson asked, "What's Jessica's all-time favorite beer?" But for all of you, what is your favorite? It doesn't have to be alcoholic, but like, what's your favorite like go-to summer drink that you really enjoy when the days are warm as they are getting now?
Bummer. I mean, I'll just drink anything, anytime.
My go-to
What?
is a gin and tonic, and so I often just grab that.
Are you like a
Refreshing.
tiny gin, or are you like a
Yes.
botanical gin?
I want it to taste like Christmas in my mouth.
Yes.
No, no, hard pass. I don't want to taste like I've stuck my tongue inside a pine tree. I want
That's
like
what I want.
all of the botanical flavors of joy.
That
That's
too.
what the lime is for.
I'm not here to taste. I'm here to get drunk.
You're the one who doesn't drink. So,
Spoilers.
whoops. I think the question to me was like what my favorite beer is, and I drink stouts and porters. And right now, my very favorite all-time beer is Nut Crusher by Wild Ride. It's a peanut butter porter, and it's excellent.
That was Xander's nickname in college.
Okay.
Peanut butter porter?
Peanut butter porter. Not crushed.
Yeah, the peanut butter porter.
Does it taste like peanut butter?
He was always carrying peanut butter places.
It's delicious. It's beautiful. Though as things get warmer, like I like a good Radler, or right now I like Marionberry vodka and lemonade. That's really delicious. Marionberry is like an Oregon thing. It's like a cross between like a blackberry and a raspberry, and really delicious.
The maidens are multiplying.
Yay! Hi.
Hello.
We're talking like favorite drinks. I'm the one that likes anything super sweet that you can't taste the alcohol of. Like, give me enough grenadine that becomes the blood of my enemies, and I'm happy.
I like, well, two things. I like mead, but I'm super picky about it. There is a meadery in Delaware called Brimminghorn Meadery, and they are absolutely the best, and I cannot drink any other mead.
I just went there for the first time on Saturday.
So good.
It was really good. I tried like 5 different meads, and they were all really good.
Amateur, I try 7 when I go.
Okay, we were there for 2 hours, okay? I only had a limited amount of time to work with.
No, my other favorite is like a true margarita that doesn't have any sugar in it, where it's just like lime juice, tequila, like triple sec. That's it. Like, I really like that. Yeah.
My favorite, so my favorite rum is Mount Gay rum, and it became my favorite rum. I was on a Peggy-ish camping trip, and I sat down in a chair, and there was an unopened bottle just sitting at the foot of this chair, and I looked down and I was like, what is this, Mount Gay? Oh, this is perfect for me. And everybody was like, I didn't bring that bottle. And I was like, what are you talking about? And no one on the camping trip remembered bringing Mount Gay. And I was like, well, it's mine now. Yeah. And I drank the entire bottle on that trip, and it's my favorite rum since. So
I've known this man for 40 years.
It was gifted by the queer spirits.
obviously.
Was it Mount Gay?
Yeah.
That was also Xander's nickname in college.
Okay, all right.
That was the verb used to refer to him in college. Mount Gay.
I just was called so many things.
I wasn't even there, and I just know these things.
Well, you drink and you know things. We've established that.
Yes, yeah. Apparently, that's your storyline now.
Yeah.
It's a traveling storyline.
Did we end up finding those questions on Twitter?
I'm failing.
Oh, right. I forgot.
I heard that earlier.
Did we have any questions?
I have a question. So we talked a little bit to our audiences about like our goals and stuff for this album, and I'm sure you guys did on your Kickstarters as well. But do you want to talk a little bit about what you're doing differently with this album as compared to your previous?
We're actually singing and playing on ours this time.
What?
It's a bold move.
Really vanilla before?
I think it's really paying off for us this time.
We've just been standing behind cardboard set pieces this whole time. I have no idea.
There's a band of cats from Germany.
Really cool cats.
Years in light. I guess for us, one of the things we talked about before we started doing this Kickstarter was we didn't want to just kickstart an album. We did that. Like, lots of people do that. That's cool. But we wanted to do something that was kind of a step further. So that's why ours is the album and tour. And it will be our first East Coast tour. We're very excited to get to play with the Misbehavin Maidens, with Sarah Donner, Juliana Finch, a bunch of other folks. We're very, very excited to see them. I
get to leave Portland.
Yeah.
You're like Charlie Kelly on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Like, Holly gets to leave Portland when the band has a gig outside of Portland. That's kind of how that goes. So we did Dragon Con last year, and she's like, guys, I haven't gotten on a plane in like 10 years.
Everyone was just like talking to me and asking me how I was doing, and I'm like, "What the fuck is up with it?" I'm sorry.
That was the first one. Who had Holly?
You burnt.
Who had Holly in the pool?
No, I expected that.
No.
No, all the people in Atlanta were like, "How you doing?" And I'm like, "Why do you want to know?" Because where I come from, we leave each other alone.
We played in Vegas and it was back to leaving us alone, and that was fine. One other difference on this album is that last Kickstarter, we had a stretch goal to get my piano, and her name is Rosalind Franklin, named after the true discoverer of DNA. That's her actually on the wall behind me.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's Rosalind straight behind me. She's kind of my science superhero. I love her a lot. So we were able to get me a piano, and so I only played on 7 of the tracks of Trust Issues. On this one, I play on every track, and we've added double tracking. We doubled our time in studio this time, which meant we spent 4 days in studio instead of 2.
Whoa.
Terrible.
Yeah, we recorded Trust Issues and mixed it in 2 days.
Wow.
That's
I'm not
amazing.
jealous at all.
Oh no. This is
So-
fine. This is fine. Everything's fine.
Something's rotten. And Aim to Misbehave, we took a little bit longer, but not much. So yeah, we took 4 days to record and mix relatable content, and it's so good, you guys. It's so freaking good. I'm so excited. You're very proud of all your babies, but
I want to say before everyone starts saying it, I just wanted to let chat know and everyone there. I will have to leave at 7 o'clock. I'm so sorry. 7 o'clock my time. Because I have a run away to a fitting and drive far away. But Sandra will still be here. But I just wanted to let people know that in case someone was talking in the middle of something, I looked at the time and just disappeared from chat, and the people go, "Why?"
you guys are skipping, like your vocals are skipping an awful
Yeah,
lot.
Google skipped a
Okay,
bit.
it wasn't just
It's going to be just us.
This cipher. I mean, this is the remix from the Library Bards, but we understand
Is that better?
and that's
How's
totally
this?
acceptable.
Is this better?
No.
Someone think, no, it didn't work.
Oh, there. Wait.
Julie, we have to talk. We have to say something for them to gauge it. Is it working?
Roboting hardcore, yeah.
It's good.
The dubstepping bards.
Oh no.
Check.
Oh, maybe? Yes?
Yes.
Say some more words.
Say more than one word.
Hello. Uh-oh.
Don't do that.
In fact, Bonnie's voice has a tendency to ruin my microphone for some reason.
You're back in. That's
Yeah,
okay.
it's good.
We're about to leave you, and then we can deal with just your dulcet tones. And then we're done.
Yeah. So in case you didn't hear me, since I was a robot, I'll have to leave at 7 o'clock.
Okay. Yep. We got you.
So you have me for 10 more minutes. So if
Okay.
you have questions.
But also, I didn't even realize till you pointed out behind you because it's Carl Sagan, Bill Nye, and Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah,
right?
this is my wall of SciComm. So I do a lot of science communication to the public. And like these are some of my superheroes. And in my dissertation, I actually thank all of them and Rosalind Franklin for being inspirations to me as someone who wants to share science with the world. Making music is part of how we get to do that together. And it's one of my favorite parts of being a scientist.
That's
getting
so
to share.
freaking awesome.
Maidens, what is
Yes.
it that you're doing different about your album and your Kickstarter this time? Share with the
Well,
class.
thanks for shaming us right out of the gate with your short studio
No.
time. You're more than just a CD. This is our most ambitious album yet. So we are doing, it's got 13 full-length tracks, which is longer, and I think the actual time is going to be longer than any album we've done before. And it has way more instrumentation than we've done before.
Yeah, we pulled in instrumentalists to help us out.
Yes, including Saber.
We have a pianist and we also have a violinist. And the violinist actually was the one who wrote the piano score as well. So it's all original tunes and everything like that as far as that's concerned. And it's actually two members of my other band. I was at rehearsal with them tonight, you know, and so it's Maggie Kaysen on the piano and it's Donna Korn on the violin
And drums.
Oh, and then I also did drums.
Yes,
so
she did drums and
keep forgetting I
vocals.
did that.
Just being ambitious
So,
here.
yeah.
But
And
drums on
tambourine.
tunes. And tambourine.
And tambourine. So yeah.
Ah, yes.
See,
the
that's
very
all different from our
challenging
last
tambourine.
CDs. Yeah, right.
One of these days, I'm going to take up the triangle. I'm just really,
Yeah, right. We need more cowbell.
I'm intimidated by the learning curve of the triangle.
There's
I have an ocarina I keep meaning to learn how to play, so we can add that in.
Yeah, it's definitely the most ambitious that we've done, like instrumentally, and it has, I think, the most unique tracks that we made ourselves, like songs that we've written ourselves.
Most originals.
It has it has the most originals we've ever done before. We have the least amount of covers and parodies on this one. It's like a lot of original music.
There's still a few
for us,
parodies
so
and a cover of
excited.
the Broadsides. Hey, their awesome song "Smile."
Yes. Which is about street
so
harassment.
good.
Woo! And
Yeah.
for our Kickstarter, we have the enamel pin of Smile available because this
Totally getting that.
it's rad. We're really excited about it.
Yeah, I definitely backed for the smile level.
Me too.
And we got to see you do that cover of Smile at Dragon Con, and it was super fantastic. I hope that we get to see
that was
I
you
was
this year.
crying in my bucket.
A bucket of rum. Oh, Dragon Con.
Oh yeah, we
Which pail?
at Dragon Con the booze it comes in buckets. You see.
Yes, I actually do a song about that on our CD. On this album. There's a song about Dragon Con, going to Dragon Con, and all the cool
About
stuff
the
that happens there.
triangle, we have a triangle, and yeah, you do have to sort of figure out how to hold it. Our triangle's name is Chuck Ting Tingle.
Well, now I can't have one because I can't top that name.
No.
You can play with Chuck Ting Tingle anytime you want.
Hey,
Buckaroo.
broken. Oh man.
Bards.
Yes.
What are you doing that's different?
So for us, for the first album, we didn't really know what we're doing, and we still don't know what we're doing. But we had the impulse. That was when we were first creating the Bards, and we're like, well, we should do kind of pop songs as parodies because that's what people will be searching for, or that's what people will be looking for.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so with
Megan
this one, we had a
Trainor.
bit more freedom where we could just do whatever songs that we wanted. So,
Yeah. And we're doing more 80s nostalgic things and a lot of fandoms that are fandoms that we all grew up with, and we have songs about, everything from like Power Rangers, Jurassic Park, Firefly, Princess Bride. Just insanity of fun things. Of course, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
We have a song about John Barrowman because
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
yes, why not? That's why we were like, why not?
Yeah.
And oh man, we have. I don't want to give too much away because we have songs that we don't want to
Right.
sneak out.
Because
yet,
we're
too.
still going into the studio because it takes us a very long time.
Yeah, same.
with the full orchestrated tracks, and then also with the
With the harmonies and everything like
we
that.
go
We just try to
between the two of us. We're two perfectionists that yell at each other at the time. So, but we're also just really excited to do more music videos.
Yeah.
And with this Kickstarter, we're just trying to raise the level of what we did from the first album to a whole new level. We're like, okay, let's go full production, full this, full that.
Right.
We're really trying to push the envelope of what we did before, so we can kind of keep one-upping ourselves. If that sounds weird,
which doesn't sound sustainable.
Yeah.
So
Are these? I think for us, one of the reasons why we are able to record in such a short time is with 2 years between Trust Issues and now, we've been playing a lot of these songs out at live shows for the last 2 years. And so that made things a little easier. Vocally, we also, for a lot of these songs, we record the vocals all together because we play off each other. And so I think that makes things a lot faster too, versus going in and recording individually. Our sound guy is a wizard, and so he's like, oh no, do you all want to be in the studio at the same time? We're like, okay.
Yeah.
So that that hurts your speed.
The
We
songs
have to
that
crack under the
perform
pressure.
live more are the ones that are the easiest, the ones that we perform all the time. We go in and knock them out, but the ones that we can't really perform live because we're
For whatever
not
reason.
for whatever reason that it just live it doesn't work. Those are the ones where we go in, we're like, oh no.
Yeah, we have that problem
Yeah.
sometimes too. But yeah, where you guys like you keep doing this stuff over and over again. We made one that we didn't even perform until after we had recorded it.
Yes, yeah, that's also something that we did for this album that we've never done before. I finished a song with Flint's help, like
In the middle of recording.
And that came together really fast, though.
Yeah, it's like, no, we
it did.
can't wait 2 more years for another CD for this. No, it needs to go on the CD now.
Yeah.
And then I immediately wrote like 4 new songs.
I know.
But
You're already like a third of a way to another CD, and we're not even actually finished with this one.
Between us, half.
But now
Oh,
we'll
good.
have 2
Oh,
years to
good.
do it. So
Yeah.
we'll have that time.
No,
Maybe it'll get
But
faster.
here's an idea. With the Bards had a song about John Barrowman. What if each of the other bands wrote a song about John Barrowman? And then if we were all at Dragon Con together, we could serenade John Barrowman with a
Summon
concert
him.
about John Barrowman.
The John Barrowman
be
EP.
at Dragon Con this year, though.
This is John Barrowman EP.
This would be not enough notice for this
No, I
year.
know, not
But
this year, but
future
I'm just
year.
saying he's not always at Dragon Con.
And neither
we
are
can't
we, but
rely
yeah.
on
What if we all sing about him? Will he be there? Summoned.
Oh, yes, it summons John Barrowman. It's like a
It does.
Actually,
he
you
would
know
wear
what?
a long coat. It's like
We
a
don't
level
want-
6 spell, like summon John Barrowman specifically.
I need to get more.
How many
more
dice?
Self Wizard.
How many dice?
Yeah, how many dice are like, I
He brushed my shoulder once.
Yet, but I think we have to. Ladies and gentlemen,
John Barrowman!
Hey! Oh, that was a funny joke. He's actually here. Hey! Oh.
Oh.
Wait a minute, he's here!
raining from the sky.
The spirit of John compels us all.
Barrowman. We're already starting. We're
Yeah.
Oh, good God. There were songs on Trust Issues too. Dolores was
Yep.
one that we hadn't done at all until we got into the studio, and I was like, no, we need to put it on.
We had a place marker for it before we went to the studio. It just said Dolores. And then I guess there's going to be a song, and I hope it's good.
Apparently it's about John Barrowman.
In that spot.
Well,
We've
we
got
had it this time too. There was like me recording on the last day, recording my harmonies for Winter is Coming.
Oh, yeah.
And I was literally like listening to it in like I had my studio headphones on and then my little earbuds tucked inside. And I was like, hold on just a second. I would listen to it and be like, okay, I can go. And he's like, we're gonna start back a section. I'm like, nope, can't. I have to do the one I was just listening to. Only one in my head
That's
right
good.
now.
Yeah, Winter is Coming is like still really, really new, and so is House of the Wind, which is
We haven't
Patrick
played that one live,
Rothfuss.
have we?
Nope, Patrick Rothfuss based.
King Killer.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that King Killer
It-
Chronicles. Oh my
It's all
god.
about it, like, and we do things that are about like the King Killer Chronicles, but it's also about stage fright and about what it's like to have performance anxiety, but really, really wanting to be there at the same
Yeah.
time. Relatable content. Back it out.
Absolutely.
everyone, this is my 2-minute warning.
Okay.
Give me 2 more minutes
Okay.
because I just looked at traffic and it's scary.
Anything you want to ask, Bonnie?
Well, I was gonna say there's a really good question in the chat right
Oh,
now
Yep.
about parody songs, which bards that would be a good one for y'all to.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can't see the chat. So
Oh.
do you have to obtain rights to be able to parody songs, or is it covered under fair use laws?
So there's a little bit of column A and column B. So what we're doing, we have to follow the regulations where it's a weird law that it has to be like a tribute to the song. And so you have to keep like a percentage of the melody and actually part of the lyrics too for it to count under parody law. And then so we have to, and we can't use like karaoke tracks because that's created by somebody else. So it has to be original music, and then we like to flavor it into whatever fandom we're doing
Mhm.
to differentiate it even more. But even when we do like YouTube videos and things like that, it could still possibly get flagged as in the algorithm automatically as
Mhm.
like if it's too similar to the song.
So we try and make it as different as possible, but also in the same feel to where like people get that. Oh yeah, there's that drum beat we all know. Now it's a cantina band. What's happening?
Yeah. And so if we were doing covers, then we would have to obtain the license for it and everything like that. But because we fall under parody law, it is fair use, and we're able to
Or so we think.
well, yeah, we have been talking with lawyers like before we started type of thing to make sure that it was okay. But that's as far as we understand. That's how it works.
Yeah. Not an actual lawyer.
And Maidens, you've done a ton of parodies.
I've been doing. I did parodies with Scales and Crossstones, and then when we started Maidens, we parodied specifically like sea shanties and stuff like that. So a lot of that stuff is already
Public domain.
Public domain.
I parody the non-public domain stuff,
but ultimately, as long as we are playing both the music and we wrote the lyrics, the tune does not matter. The tune can be. It just cannot be in a direct recording that another band already made. So and we're allowed to use it. It's like Weird Al Yankovic does all of those songs and doesn't pay for any of them, I don't think.
But he does get permission.
He does get permission. He does absolutely get permission, but he doesn't legally have to, which is why you can download a copy of Please Don't Download This Song off of his website, but you can't buy it because he had permission revoked for that song. So then he just put it up for free because he was like, well, I already recorded it. So
there you go.
Same thing did You're Pitiful.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. James Blunt said no.
Yep.
And so he said, okay, I will sell it. I will just make it available.
Yep. I'll just make it available. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what we did
with
our very first album, Take Everything. We had a couple of parodies on there and we didn't want to get sued.
Or do any research.
Yeah. So so if you go to Take Everything, if you can't download them individually, you can listen to them, but you have to download the whole album in order to get them, so they're free.
Mm. Maybe that works. Maybe. So far, so good, though. No DNC. So.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm part of the police force that has been after you, and
foiled again. Like our name implies, the PDX Broadsides, we also we joke that the Misbehavin Maidens and us, we started as the same band 10 years ago, because we started as dirty pirate a cappella shanties, and then started writing about zombies and adding instrumentation and went from there. So that's,
Christian wanted to play guitar.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
So we started
myself
more nerdy things and booking more family-friendly gigs, but it's still a delight to get to play with the Maidens and go, all right, girls, this is Stomp the Yardarm. It is on.
Yes, good.
We'll do that with burlesque audiences too. They're the best audiences.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody.
Honey, we love you. Thank you so much.
Sorry that I have time.
And we'll chat with you
There's
soon.
no other way.
Good luck with your show. Can we keep Xander? Is that okay?
Yeah, you're keeping me.
Okay, good.
Hey.
Go.
I need
measured.
Go.
Never loved you.
Never loved you.
Wow. We are super huge RuPaul's Drag Race fans, you guys.
I am a huge Drag Race fan.
Oh, bye.
This has just become the Drag Race chat.
Yes. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I never forgot you.
Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Love.
Dante, you stay.
Yeah. Sashay away.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh man, when we make other bands throw shade at each other, this quality content.
Dance, puppets, dance.
Band Island.
Yeah, I gotta win Band Island somehow.
Oh, no. You said the words. You know the conches are now blowing in the distance. So Band Island.
We've got to go to Band Island.
Yeah, my cards are already down by 1. We're winning.
Yeah. And we named that.
Exactly.
This started at Rose City Comic Con here in Portland a few years back, and we invited a couple of other Portland bands, Going Viral and Thundering Asteroids, to share some time in our booth. And by next Rose City Comic Con, they were no longer bands, and so we made ourselves a certificate. We were like, we win. We made a certificate that said winners of Band Island.
Also, we shared a space with the Double Clicks, and one of them moved to LA.
Yeah.
Right.
So
just saying, we're here to steal your women.
Stir the pot.
Double Clicks are in the chat right now, by the way. And say the only way to win Band Island is not to play. But they also have a question, which is, do you all write songs together or separately?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes, basically.
Most of the time, yeah.
We all individually write songs, especially Christian.
Oh my God, Christian.
He's like the machine. And then we bring them, we like share them with each other, and if it lands, we'll do it. I don't write music yet at all. I can sometimes be like, I want it to sound like na 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 na. But
and then we write the music.
Yeah, but that's it. I write lyrics, and then I'm
Bust out
like,
the cat keyboard.
Yes.
anyone want it?
I think you did really
man.
well. 5 of the songs he wrote lyrics for are on this album.
Hey.
What? Yeah.
I get around.
And we also
That's not on the album.
we also write some things together too,
Yeah.
especially when we're at conventions or we're all in the same room for an extended period of time.
That's fun.
Music happens. It just does.
That's literally how I wrote one of the songs in our albums. It was at like sitting at the table at Dragon Con, like back in 2015. And I didn't finish until a couple years later, but dumb ways to con. But see, I write all the parodies for us, so I'm the one who writes like the parody stuff that we have to figure out fair use on.
Yes.
Otherwise, I like write verses to things that other people made. I'm bad at coming up with music, like the actual tunes, but
I write a lot of parodies that we never record.
For reasons.
But yeah, if anybody wants a bunch of parodies, I got them.
yes, good.
Might be
Like I read the stuff like back when I was a cosplayer and did like actual cosplay skits. I would write songs for that, but I can't use them with that anymore. So like, might as well use them here.
Yeah, and I think for us too, a lot of the times it happens in traffic because we'll be stuck in traffic and listening to the radio, and we'll hear a song that'll be like, this would actually be really good. What if we did it with this fandom? And so that's where a lot of our brainstorming comes from, and we've got kind of like a list of fandoms and songs that would either be good for our voices or that we like, and then we just kind of match them and then have writing sessions together, sometimes separately, depending on if we're like experts in that fandom type of thing.
Yeah, I write songs in traffic too.
Yes,
Like,
traffic.
actually, that's not even traffic.
I wrote a song in traffic. It was Nathan Fillion, Please Take Off Your Pants. While
That's incredible.
I wrote while stuck in Blazers traffic after we had done the last recording session for our second album, Aim to Misbehave. We had done it. I'd been trying to crack this nut, giggity, for months. And I'm in Blazers traffic, and out of nowhere, here comes this chorus. And there was a counting bit and whatever. And I like grab my phone, and I have Rec Forge on my phone. I'm singing my phone. I get home, I send it to them. And I'm like, damn it, Jessica. We just recorded this album. We sang it at our album release party, and everyone was so mad that it wasn't on our album that we had to like, release it digitally right after. Like we had to append it. Then we released an EP with that song and the ballad version of it and something else, and people were still not happy, so we had to put it on Something's Rotten on the physical. So there's several versions of Nathan Fillion, Please Take Off Your Pants floating around. It was written while I was very angry and very tired in traffic, and he has heard it and has not made a cease or desist yet. So that's pretty good.
Yes, you guys know road rage, great inspiration.
Yeah.
But don't try to type on your phone while you're driving. This is what the short recorder's for.
Yeah.
Be safe.
But do record it because you'll forget it really quickly.
Exactly.
That's for sure. The worst thing that a songwriter could say is like, "Oh, I'll remember that."
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, friends at home, if you are also songwriters and an idea wakes you up out of a dead sleep, like write it down immediately. Like even if it's a voice recording, like this song is about SpongeBob, but he's a mango instead. Like do it.
Get to work on that. I want that now.
On the next album.
For money, I think we are doing custom songs. You can get jingles or full-length songs, or for the first time, the Orpheus level, not Orpheus. The cover level is called Anyway, Here's Wonderwall. We're happy to do covers, short, like 30 to 60 second jingles, which sometimes end up like our House of the Wind song started as a jingle, and we're so happy with it. We turned it into a full length song, so sometimes that happens. yeah, 3 of the songs from our last Kickstarter that were customs ended up on this album because we're so happy with them.
Yeah.
So we're happy to write Mango SpongeBob for you for money. Are you doing custom songs?
Not for this one.
Yeah, no, not us.
I've just discovered, like, because I've been very prolific recently with songs and stuff like that, but I've just discovered over the years that I cannot write for other people. Like, I can, if I'm connected to somebody, or like I could write a song for them, but it's like if somebody just randomly was like, I want a song about this subject, I'd be like, no.
SpongeBob is a mango.
Yeah.
No, cannot do it.
But we are doing a drunken postcard level, so maybe some lyrics will come out of that onto a postcard and they will turn into something.
Maybe that, yeah.
I was very tempted by that level.
So I was actually going to ask the 2 groups, like, how did you decide your rewards and what you were doing for this Kickstarter? And what are your rewards?
Most of the time we decide what merchandise we're going to have as a reward because it's what we want for free of our own logo.
We can't
No. So we really...
It is kind of true. But yeah, we're doing
So
like,
that's how we pay ourselves in this band. Free merchandise.
We did put out a call though. We put out a couple of polls asking what people wanted.
We did also do that for inspiration.
But like Flint came up with the dice, and like we actually have been selling the red and black ones for a while, and we ordered 250 or 500 to start.
I think we ordered
250. We ordered 250, and like they were gone within like 2 weeks.
Wow.
And we didn't even have a gig in those 2 weeks. We had like sort of an informal gig.
You posted a picture on our Facebook, and then all of our friends we know locally were like, I'm gonna need them dice.
Right. And we had people saying, I want 40 of them, and we're like, whoa, okay. So we ordered another 500 within a month.
I keep saying I want a tier where I can do I can Scrooge McDuck into a kiddie pool full of them. That is my goal in life.
We're not getting that many dice.
It works that way.
I'll make it work somehow.
Contrary to what cartoons have taught us. I don't think that would work out for you.
Physics does not work that way. Good night.
The laws of physics follow me.
But yeah, I don't know. We went back and forth on rewards a bit, and the hardest ones for us, I think, are the really high level tiers because we have tried in the past to do things that involve scheduling specific times with people for like one-on-one stuff, and that has been very difficult and time consuming to actually schedule. So we learned over the years that was not our preferred way to do upper level rewards. So we do have house concerts, which we can do either live, like in person if it's close to where we live, or virtually if it's further away. That's our top tier reward, is a personal house concert. And then below that we just added a level shortly after we launched. That is a personal birthday greeting where we will sing one of our songs of your choice. Not a song of your choice, one that we know. One that we already know.
Yeah.
One of our songs, and and record a birthday greeting for somebody special to you that we will like email to you or to them on their birthday. And then we have just 3 left of our skull logo as a pillow.
Squishy.
Handmade.
Lovely.
Handmade
by Saber. Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa.
And then below that we have a coloring book.
I was gonna say the coloring book is actually what inspired a lot of the other merch, because our album cover and the cover of the coloring book, the swearing is caring, is what is going to eventually be our pin and our sticker and our t-shirt and all that. And I thought of the coloring book idea, and I had already picked the artist out for it at the end of the last Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I was like, why did I think of this?
Just in case you guys don't know us, it's an adult
Kickstarter.
Coloring book.
Yes,
so.
It's not a children's coloring book at all.
It is full of swears.
Yeah.
True tradition, Saber, immediately after we posted this Kickstarter, thought of the very first reward level she wants for the next Kickstarter.
Custom socks, you guys. That's what I want.
We thought about custom socks because Sock It To Me is based here in Portland, but the price and the number of volume we would have had to do for this Kickstarter wasn't going to work for us. But we could all do a nerd music theme sock together, y'all.
Yeah.
And that could be really rad. We could make enough count of that. And the Double Clicks, I think, made a custom sock with Sock It To Me. So we'll ask them.
Yeah.
We'll ask our label parents. They know things.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
I would say for picking rewards for us, like Big Mood, same. It's stuff that we wanted, like enamel pins, like getting the enamel pin of "Don't Ask Me to Smile." Holly took a bunch of the basic buttons of "Don't Ask Me to Smile" to work, and people love them. They sell really well, and I think that they look really neat. Like they're a literally get off my back about my face, please. And the tiny little octopus that says "I can't even," drawn by Yayla. It's adorable AF, and I'm super excited to have that pin. The art prints, same deal as you were saying, like picked out the artist during the last Kickstarter. We talked to our cover artist, Odd Cook at Emerald City after we released Trust Issues. And Odd did last year. Yeah, Odd did all the art for Wicked and the Divine 1923. She's done a lot of work for Marvel and Dark Horse. And that cover is just, her style is so stunning. And we said, well, we have to get art prints of this. So that's why $100 and up levels, they all, like, you have the option of getting an art print of that beautiful, like, drowning in some of our different themes artwork, or the Trust Issues one by Ben Dewey, which is all of us looking very sinister around a Pandora box. And it's really beautiful. But for the first time, our upper levels, instead of, like the maidens were saying, scheduling with people is hard, and we agree. But we really wanted to do Hot Seat was one of them, which was like premium seating at our concert. We will get you and 3 friends in, and we will dedicate a song to you and probably heckle you lightly unless you say no, because introverts, we respect you in your autonomy. But the best one of the bunch, Holly came up with. You want to talk about it?
I wrote a song for the album called Together Breakfast, which is based on the episode from Steven Universe.
Yes.
Yeah. And I thought, well, we should probably just do like Together Breakfast as one of the levels. And then I think Jess said something, for what, like 150? I was like, no, way more.
Yeah.
So much more than that. That it's the opportunity for like people to get together and like sit down and have breakfast with us. Like when we're out on tour, we all go to breakfast together. The one time it didn't happen, I got mad and pouted for like 50% of the day.
Breakfast.
But I need company.
She's like, we're like, you were in the shower and you hate breakfast, and she's like, but I need to eat something.
I'm never gonna make that mistake. I'm not gonna go by myself down to like the hotel breakfast all sad with my tiny cup of orange juice.
It was like full on pouty rage face. So yeah, Together Breakfast. We will have brunch with you, and it says if you're here in Portland, but if you're also on our tour route, like let us know. If we're in your city, we're probably going to need to eat. So, and we're really delightful over eggs and bacon and Bloody Marys.
PDX Broadsides served over eggs and bacon.
Yes, please.
That's our next cover album. All of us lying seductively on piles of hash browns.
Yes.
We're the gravy.
I will make you all waffles when you are here.
Yay!
Or chocolate chip pancakes are my specialty, actually.
Yes.
We'll literally be together breakfast. It will be a stack of them.
Yay!
Carbs.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Make for us.
It's good.
What's your favorite brunch food?
Favorite
Chocolate chip
brunch?
pancakes.
Waffles.
Bacon.
Eggs Benedict.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Bacon and mimosas.
Oh yeah, mimosas. That's obviously.
I love a good build your own Bloody Mary bar with with all the vegetables and stuff in it. But if I'm at, like, I'm a very omnivorous person, but I love me a veggie omelet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all the fresh veggies.
I think whenever I'm at like a restaurant, I want to get something that like I can't make at home, which is why I'm drawn to like Eggs Benedict or something. So I was like, I would never.
It's a good choice. We have a question in the Xander. You want to talk about your rewards?
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute, real quick, Xander. You have to make Eggs Benedict because there's no place like home for the hollandaise. Had to. Sorry. Go on, talk about your award.
Yeah, so we did, I think one of our earlier ones, we of course did the digital album and then the signed physical CD, but we also have a pin that was, stop it. We had a pin that was inspired by Geek and Sundry did something at San Diego Comic-Con where they were giving out pins of different D&D classes. And so if you came one day, you got wizard. If you came one day, you got a fighter. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I want a bard pin. So that's the inspiration for that. But it's also with a book because it's Library Bards.
It's super cute.
It is not.
And then for the album art, we were super lucky with Mike Hamlet, who did the album art for us. We described it as like we wanted to do the old Star Wars poster, but I wanted to be Leia.
Yes, good.
Yeah. So the T-shirt for the campaign is the album art, but in the style of the old Star Wars poster. And so that's the way that looks. Let's see. We also were inspired and we did a coloring book, but we did it because we did a tribute video for our Stan Lee song, and we got a lot of artists to contribute Stan Lee art, and some of it featured bards, and then we're like, wait a second, we could reach out to them, and ours will be a kid appropriate coloring book. We say coloring and activity book because we'll put like word searches and stuff like that in it, and that comes with the coasters that have our logo, which is what we wanted for free with our logo on it.
Right.
And then we had the idea for the Bard box, which is a combination of like a choose your own adventure book, but or like a mail kit that you would get from those like adventure services. And this will just have like a short little adventure that you get to play, and the outcomes will be different for the different boxes.
Cute.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. And then high level, we're doing the D&D game where I'm DMing. And so that'll be either over Skype or at Geeky Teas here in Los Angeles if they're in the area. And then, yeah, we had the producer level, which is gone now. So, yeah.
Can we pull funds for that D&D, please?
No,
please?
no, play, so.
I started a Kickstarter so that I could fund the Kickstarter reward. And I was like, okay.
We had somebody ask that, like, is that weird? And I think you said, isn't that like taking a loan out to get the down payment for your house?
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, right?
It's a little. That's
it's
a
not
gray
illegal.
legal area.
It's not illegal, but it's weird.
Questionable.
We'll take it though. We'll take it. That's fine.
Oh, absolutely.
Kickstarter don't ask no questions.
Right.
Okay.
Question from the chat. What is the weirdest place you've done a show?
I mean, Star Trek and Harry Potter burlesques, I guess, would be considered weird in certain circles.
We don't think of the burlesque as weird.
No, that's our thing.
I mean, sideshow. We've done sideshow stuff.
Yeah, sideshow stuff, yeah.
Which is not weird, but I mean, it is weird.
I guess it was like the one where it was like the pirates themed and then also the pole dancing.
Oh, yeah. We had Schrodinger's burlesque show one time where the venue double booked a nerdy burlesque and a pole dancing competition for the same time and the same location.
Well, it wasn't actually burlesque; it was a sideshow.
Oh, right,
so it wasn't just burlesque; it was also like
sword swallowers,
and stuff. So they decided the best way to solve this was that they would have like one act. They did like.
They do sideshow and then they do some pole dancing and then sideshow and pole. So we basically filled in each other's breaks.
Yes,
which sounds like it would work,
but
only except that the MC for the pole dancers was stoned out of his mind.
So
like he would, and they had a lot of technical difficulty with the music, like a ton of them, and there was like minutes and minutes of dead air while they tried to figure out somebody's song in like the booth, and the MC would just stand there.
This is your job, boy. This is your one
Actually,
thing.
the MC for the sideshow sort of took over for him and just started emceeing the pole dancing.
Yes.
And at another point, when someone really couldn't get their music going, they were like, "You guys, you don't need anything. Get up on stage and sing more songs."
Yeah,
We're
so
like,
we did like
okay.
a drinking song.
And there was the pole dancer who yeeted himself into the audience and like broke. I think they broke a chair and possibly a person.
They were trying to do some chair routine stuff, except that the chair was not heavy enough, and it just like flipped over, and they heels over their heads. Just
ass over tea kettle, as their mother would say.
yeah.
Oh, that was great.
And was it the same one, or was it a different pole dancer who got all the way up to that? Like it was a travel pole.
It was a different one.
So a different pole dancer got all the way up to the top of her pole, and then like didn't do the slide down the way she meant to. So instead, she just dropped like a stone.
Oh,
at the bottom of the pole.
And by the way, the past tense of yeet is yote. She yoked the chair across the room. Enter it in Urban Dictionary. It is done.
So that's our weirdest one.
So it wasn't the weird location. It was just the weird.
That sounds spectacular.
I was thinking like our weirdest location, like you're telling the story, and I was thinking about the Fun House here in Portland, which is a clown themed bar.
Okay.
And they have a room that is full of sad clowns. And that's what they end up using as the green room sort of area when you're going on stage, is the sad clown room. So that's
not the weirdest one. The weirdest one was the streetcar.
Oh yeah, we performed on a
We got
streetcar.
booked for the streetcar.
Yeah, we didn't just like show up.
No. In fact, that's not allowed in Portland. Like, if you just show up on public transportation to do music, they frown on that. So we got asked by Portland State University and Oregon Health and Science University were opening a new building, and they're like, "Hey, we want people to be able to go between sites, and we're doing this big grand opening. One of your grad students, she's got a science band, right?" And I was like, yes. And they're like, would you like to be sanctioned to play on public transport for a day? And I was like, well, I guess if you're paying us, thinking that they would say no, and they paid us. I'm like, okay, done. And so we played on this moving streetcar, and I kept falling over because it was making sudden jerky stops because they weren't used to the new building stop yet. We would be like mid-lyric, and then suddenly we would jerk. We had a handler, and that handler more than once was like, "Do you need me to catch you?" I'm like, "No." But we wrote a song on the streetcar, and we sang, "It's a 2-song trip to the CLSB, and that's the place where the scientists be." And we're singing to people on the streetcar
Who were mostly annoyed.
and that is a jingle that you can buy from us on Kickstarter.
We
That's
did
how
try
we
to sell
do
it to them.
They were very interested in it, and then they renamed the building. May have been our fault.
That's what
Take that credit anyway.
That's a great
Weirdest
credit.
place
Yeah.
that you performed.
Yeah,
Give
so
it.
ours is a similar thing. We got hired by the Wiki fan like company to perform on a train to San Diego Comic-Con. So it was going down to San Diego, and the idea was they would have speakers and people that would get up on the train and give presentations, and we were one of the acts. But the same thing happened where the two of us were like crammed in between train seats trying to sing over the PA system of the train.
Oh,
no. And like rocking back and forth and falling and just stay upright. But that was definitely a challenge. And then we got hired that was a convention that was just a pipe dream for some restaurant owner.
Okay.
We showed up and it was this parking lot with one table with an angry vendor selling used action figures and us.
Well, make bank. You get that cheddar and you get
Exactly.
We
We were
do
like,
what you do.
now we will not do this again. Oh boy.
Oh no.
There have been some weird moments, but I mean, then you get in the car together and you look at each other, you're like, that was really weird, right? And then a couple years later, you get on a Kickstarter live chat with your friends and you talk about it.
it all worked out in the end.
If it makes a good story.
Content.
Yeah.
Yes, it's therapy.
For sure. Oh, it's good.
Everything is future content, and
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yes, everything is relatable future content.
It's relatable content. Thank you. Plug-in. One of the things I've really enjoyed about tonight is getting to chat with y'all and not feel alone. I know that there are a lot of nerd bands out there. In fact, #NerdHerd. Shout out to you on Twitter. But it's really nice to know that these are shared experiences between bands, and when we have weird things happen, everyone can sit around and go, girl, I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
In fact, there are several nerd bands in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great.
It's
Also,
the best community.
One of the things that we discovered too early on when we were starting was not only the Filk community, but also a community called the FUMP, which is the Funny Music Project. And that they've been super welcoming, and it's what you were saying. Like, it was nice to know that other people record themselves, other people are making albums and doing this, and so it was a great discovery. And they've all been super supportive throughout the whole thing.
If you're watching at home and you don't know what the word filk is is a bastardization of the word folk, but it is like making songs about different things, usually using a song structure that already exists, but not necessarily originals happen to, but really Filk refers to the community, and you can find them at your local con. Usually there's a Filk track. Oricon here in Portland has a great one. Dragon Con has a fantastic Filk track, and God, they are so welcoming. And then there are Filk conventions as well. In fact, we were the toast band for Conflict in Seattle just in January, and we're the Interfilk band for Filk Ontario in April of 2020. And if you've never heard of Filk, like, go look it up right now. God, some of the music that they're making is amazing, and they've been making this kind of music since the 60s and before.
There's such a rich history there, and a lot of it is literature based, so either sci-fi or fantasy literature, and it's incredible.
Yeah. And not to take away from the film.
Is how we became friends with the PDX Broadsides.
Yeah.
Because y'all found us using #Filk on Instagram, and you were like, hey, we see you out there, naughty pirate ladies.
And you were like, yes, friends.
And we're like, oh, you're dirty mother Filkers too. Let's be cool. And not to take away from anything that you were saying about the FUMP, the Funny Music Project. Insane Ian has been always a really kind friend and supporter of nerd music. So the FUMP is rad.
Absolutely, yes.
Lots of
I've been saying awesome things about our Kickstarter. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. We have plenty of friends that are on the FUMP. Matricula has.
Yeah, Matricula, who is in the chat on YouTube, by the way. Check out Matricula's music, matricula.bandcamp.com, I believe.
Yeah.
Feel free to throw a URL in the chat, Matricula. If you like what we do, you will like what she does.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Naughty Filk. Naughty Filk.
While we're on that,
also, if you like clowns.
So you're throwing out a shout out from Matricula Bards. If you could shout out another nerd band right now, who are you going to shout out?
Oh gosh. Okay. So
I know we love everyone.
You're right. Right. A part of the FUMP is TV's Kyle, and he often collaborates with his wife Linzilla. But I love the stuff that they make. It's so earwormy and so catchy, and it's not parody, it's original music, but he comes up with the best sort of melodies that just get stuck in your head for days. So you can actually go to tvskyle.bandcamp.com. I'll put that in the chat.
Hey. It's hard to pick one. The Sophie's choice. I think I'm gonna give it to our local brethren, our Tenacious D punk duo, Mega Thruster, because Mega man, they are. I seriously, Joel and Chris crack me up, and they are kind and supportive human beings. And I think that's a thing that is pretty much universal across the nerd community. But like, Chris would give you the shirt off his back, even when you ask him to keep it on. That's how he does. And
he's on our album.
He is. He is playing bass on Orpheus. And it is again. So I'm really thrilled that we have rad nerd bands in our midst. Good shout outs, everybody.
And we
We
also
wanna-
have to shout out the double clicks, partly because they're chronic in chat. But everyone knows we love you.
Yes, everyone knows you already. But also, we are opening for them twice next week in the Baltimore and
God, that
Virginia
is
area.
next week.
You were, but now you're not.
We're
Great start to not.
I'm buying a house tomorrow.
No,
Time has ceased to have meaning. I can't
Lordy.
be on tomorrow.
No, we're super prepared for this next week. Like we are opening for them in Baltimore on Thursday the 16th at Joe Squared Pizza, and we're opening for them at Jam and Java on the 18th, which is in Vienna, Virginia. And tickets are available if you go to the Double Clicks website, thedoubleclicks.com, and there's like a thing that says tour, or feel free to throw the link in the chat, Double Clicks, that you can see all the tour dates, and there's like a little $sign to click for tickets. So be sure to get tickets. It's going to be great.
We're
You
playing
can
on the
pre-order
Double Clicks, tour date here in Portland too, the end of July at Dante's. So if you're in Portland, come out and see us in the Double Clicks.
Don't miss
It'll
it.
be Fun
And
on
you
a
can
bun.
pre-order their album, The Book Was Better.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
now.
Yep.
I already got my copy, and it's so good.
Yes,
If you
It's so
didn't back
good,
their
you guys.
Kickstarter, if you didn't back their Kickstarter, where were you?
Right,
What were
right.
you doing? You
Well,
were
and it releases
broke?
on the 10th, so like in
Yes,
3 days, their album
coming up.
officially releases.
Yep.
Oh my god!
And
No, it's
you-
already so good.
You can catch us with the Double Clicks at Fump Fest in Chicago, as well as Worldcon in Dublin this year.
Wow.
I know.
That's awesome.
Whee!
That is awesome.
And you fit people in your suitcase.
Yes, please.
Since the Double Clicks are mad at us, should we take their question?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Here it is. For you, the Double Clicks, because we love you. Please don't kill us. If there was a nerd music festival you all played at, what would you want to have for non-musical acts, concessions, activities, and decorations? That is a very large question. So
Yeah.
anyone,
Basically, the Double Clicks want us to plan a convention.
Yeah.
And they will then
take any one aspect of that and say, if you were playing, let's distill it. If you were playing a nerd music related festival, what 3 things could you not, like, you couldn't do that festival without, they have to be there. Like, you have to imagine them being
Bugles booth.
there. Bugles booth. We love Bugles. They're America's favorite finger hat.
They're talons. They're
Yeah.
talons.
Oh my goodness. The Unicorn Store on Netflix. Brie
Yes,
Larson's
yes.
first debut. She shouts out Bugles. And I swear to God, it was the best moment watching it. I yelled out loud. I was like, see?
I would love a Bugles concession stand, though, for real.
Yeah.
Maybe with nacho cheese pumps.
Oh, put it on your fingers and you can just dip one into each side.
Probably some sanitary concerns, but whatever.
They have a cheese fountain. I'm sorry. What were we talking about?
I want Brimminghorn mead to vend. I want a Brimminghorn mead so we have good mead.
Definitely need.
Need.
I have
Air
to say-
conditioning.
Oh, yeah, air
Air conditioning,
conditioning.
yes, please.
Indoors.
Oh my god.
Indoors.
I literally
No
just got
outdoor
air
music
conditioning
festivals.
recently. So
I don't mind an outdoor music festival as long as there are, I don't really love if there are porta potties, as long as there are copious amounts. But really, I went to a backyard wedding not too long ago where they knew there were going to be a lot of people, and they rented a toilet trailer, and it was like air conditioned with like a Bluetooth speaker and lights and everything. Get that for your bands.
Yeah.
Level up. Level up.
No, if they get that for the bands, they'll expect us to perform in it.
I'm okay with that.
Bathroom Con
Yeah.
2020.
same for as a side activity type thing.
Yeah.
I kind of like the bringing to cons drunken coloring.
Coloring,
Drunken
yes.
coloring table.
Coloring table. You could have it as an activity table during the day for like everybody, for kids and stuff like that. But then as the night
goes on, it needs to turn into the drunk table for everybody to just sit and color. We did that at a con, and it was
a very tiny.
It was the
con.
best. It was the
it was
the
so
best thing that
relaxing.
happened at
I
that
loved
con. But
that
also,
was the best part of that con. Yes.
but it also was freaking amazing. It was just so good to do. It was like, this is literally, why doesn't every con have this? I don't understand.
Well, turn it into like a good art project with like putting them all together into a banner. There's
but like if Five Below, they have like long banner strips of nothing but nonstop coloring. So they just taped those down, and when they got full, they'd shift it over.
It's like just never ending, like an underwater scene or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
In Portland, the Children's Healing Art Project CHAP, they do big collaborative art pieces at festivals, and like you donate $5 and you get to come in and be part of their mural design, like one of their big like flags or whatever. So that could be a potential thing. Like come in, like give $5 to so all the money would go to a charity, like maybe School for Rock. And then we all make one big collaborative nerd music art project together. I think that would be really fantastic.
So cool.
We always like to encourage like costume contests or cosplay contests, because then everybody is in costume and we all are having a good time.
That's great.
Always cosplay.
So I know it might be sort of biased because us, but I actually really always like after hours programming at my cons. I hate when a con shuts down by like 7 and it's like
That's
done.
Done con. It's like, no, that doesn't work for
like
us.
that's the one thing I really get bummed about with Awesome Con. Is it really like, yeah, they have the after hours party if you buy a separate ticket to go to a bar, but
it doesn't really have,
it's not it's just not the same as like having stuff going on at your con after 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, my home con spoiled me so much, Convergence in Minneapolis, because they had like 2 floors that were nothing but party rooms, and they were all good. All of them. You've been, Xander?
Well, we do MarsCon in Minneapolis, but everybody talks about Convergence, and so I think it's a similar
That's my
style.
home con.
Yeah,
I desperately want to do a con back home in Minneapolis. I miss Minneapolis a lot. My godparents are in Apple Valley, and I went to college in Moorhead, and I would love to go home. Yeah, it would be nice to go home.
Oh, I went to Luther College in Decorah.
No kidding! I know so many people went to Luther. I went to St. Thomas and St. Paul.
Oh wow! Okay. Huh.
My Catholic college is so proud of what I'm doing now.
I toured at St. Thomas and McAllister and could not afford them.
Holly, did you and I go to college in Minnesota too?
No.
I would assume so. Huh.
But I do love that song about
Purple Rain?
St. Cloud.
One thing that I've always wanted to have at a con, and I've never found at conventions unless they were specifically geared towards this, but like honestly just needs to happen at every con, is 18 plus programming doesn't need to start at 10 p.m. 18 plus programming should be all day. Like there should be a full track, and you can even have it as a separate schedule that the kids don't get handed, right? Like you can do it. So like, because I know that's a concern. They're like, oh, the kids might see this thing on the schedule and go to this room. And it's like, well, one, you check IDs at the door or you do a wristband or something. But there needs to be, and it doesn't have to be like 6 or 7 rooms. It can be one room that's 18 plus programming so that bands like us can perform all day long.
And like, I'd like to go to bed by 1 a.m. usually.
It's
I don't
like
get to most of the time.
A lot of cons, they start their adult programming, and it's like, do you realize how many adults are here? Do you realize adults are the ones spending the money at these conventions? I do like sex education panels and stuff like that when I go to cons, and it's like, and again, it's very difficult because they're like, well, we want you to teach all these panels, but we also want you to sing all the time.
And there's a 3-hour block to do it all.
And so it's like, so I'm running back and forth from everything. And it's like, I could just teach this in the afternoon, you guys. And they're like, oh my goodness, no. And I'm like, why? So like, you could even do it where it's like, okay, and you could also have adult artists and stuff like that as well. Because I know a lot of people who want to do conventions, but all of their stuff is adult art, and it's like, well, then just have a separate room for them. That's all you got to do. You just got to separate it. Like you don't have it, like, and then everybody gets to enjoy everything that they like about the convention. You can have kids, you can have a kids track and be family focused, and also cater to the adult crowd as well. And I've never seen a convention successfully do that except for Dragon Con, and they've changed a lot in the past 10 years, and they don't really do that anymore. And it's kind of sad, actually.
It's been fun to be sort of part of the adult programming at Dragon Con last year, and hopefully again this year, where like, but it was after the watershed. For real, like that's what time the swearing starts and becomes permissible. That's what time the kilt blowing starts. 1 o'clock in the morning. Thank you, Jenny Breeden. We love you. You're a hero. So, yeah. Do we have maybe one last?
We all would like to just do our thing, you know, and like adults would like to see us do our thing.
At Dragon Con, we had an afternoon show, didn't we?
We did, yeah. But it wasn't it PG-13? Or did?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Anytime the con asks us to perform in the afternoon, we have to keep it PG-13.
Even if it's in a separate room, even if it's in a closed off room where somebody could be checking IDs, they're like, you cannot do an R-rated show. And it's like, this is ridiculous. It's like the room's closed off. I don't understand. So that's what I would, if I was going to be part of the construction of an event, that is like numero uno.
Thank you for subscribing to Saber Rants.
Anything else that anyone wants to add about building a festival before we do our last bit?
Do
it. Do it. We will perform there.
Yeah.
More crafts. That's what I think. More crafts. More things. Things where people can do stuff themselves, like make their own leather things. Because when you make your own stuff, you are a lot happier about taking it home or about spending money on it or whatever.
And then when you wear it, you connect.
Yeah.
Like it's that kinetic memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at Convergence, they have a craft room that operates almost 24 hours a day, and they have different, like, their panels in the room are learn how to do t-shirt modding, learn how to make jeweled hair sticks, learn how to, like, all these kind of nerdy crafts, and you can just drop in, do a craft, leave, you know, and then you have a cool souvenir. The other thing they do that I love is they have 2 rooms that are just showing movies the entire con 24 hours a day with free snacks and couches. Like, it's not like you're in an awkward hotel room, but like it's a big conference room that's, you know, dimly lit with a big screen, and then there's like multiple couches that you can just sit and lounge and watch a movie. There's a few different introvert chill spots that I really like.
So if you work for Convergence, please bring all of us.
Yes. And I know the Double Clicks are playing Convergence this year, and I'm super not jealous at all.
All right. I think that was the end of our questions, and we've actually gone like 20 minutes over time, and I know it's really late for you guys, maidens, and we really appreciate your time and staying up. And we appreciate all of you watching at home and getting to chat with us. So in order, Bards and Maidens and then us, go ahead and tell us again the name of your Kickstarter and where you are at right now. And Bards, go.
Yeah, so you can find an easy link for us is bit.ly/bombarded, and Bard is all caps in there. So you can use that link to head over to our Kickstarter. I believe we're at 22. I'm just going to refresh to see. Yeah, we're at we're at 22,000. Our next stretch goal is 24,000, and that'll add another music video. And the one after that is matching tattoos that we will live stream.
That I am so excited about.
So we'll see.
Do the thing.
Yeah, but we're super excited about it, and can't wait to just record this ding dang album.
Yay, Maidens.
Okay. I talked a lot.
Sure. So yeah, our album is called Swearing is Caring. It can be found most easily, I guess, at misbehavinmaidens.com /Kickstarter. And we are at about, as of this moment, $17,013, and that is about, we're almost to our next stretch goal, which is an early release single.
If we get to $17,500, we will release a single that is actually family friendly. Early, it's our clean edit of Slytherins Are Misunderstood.
Yay!
If we get to 20,000. Then we get a music video, our first professional music video, and Laser from the Double Clicks is going to direct it for us.
Oh, they're amazing.
You really, really work. And we only have a few days left. We actually Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern is when it ends.
Oh, gosh.
So 3 days remain.
Yay!
Final 3 days.
The final stretch.
And we are the PDX Broadsides. Our new album and tour is called Relatable Content. You can find the links for all of us down below. If you like the bit.ly, you can find us at bit.ly /relatablebroads.
Capital R,
capital B. And please, we are at 8801. Our goal is 12,500. We haven't made goal yet. We're at 70%. But when we hit 9,000, we have a brand new music video for our song Winter is Coming, aka Arya Stark has had enough of your bullshit. So so we're $200 away from releasing that video, but we're trying to get to 12,500 so we can tour and make this album and come to the East Coast and perform with the Maidens and Sarah Donner and so many wonderful other folks. So we've got a little ways to go in 16 days. So we really appreciate all of your support and all your shares. We want to make this happen. Please, please, please.
We believe in you.
Thanks.
Yes, you can do it. Do the thing.
With that, thank you, Bards and Maidens, so much. This was a wonderful conversation. We're going to have to do this again when we're not kickstarting and losing
That's a great idea.
But we love you. We love the nerd music community and everything that we're able to do together because there's so much mutual respect and so much talent. And it blows my mind every time. Thank you for your generosity and your awesomeness.
Yes, thank you all too.
Thank you for organizing it.
Yes, thank you for organizing. This has like been the best thing ever, just to be able to talk to people in our situation and also being able to like connect. This entire Kickstarter is also about connecting with the fans and just
for sure.
realizing how generous and supportive the community is. And nerd music community, you are the best. We love you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, all of us.
Love you so
Thank you for
much.
doing what you do.
Andy and I have made the smallest Kickstarter support group ever. And it usually starts at least once a day with, "Hi, I'm Jessica and I have a Kickstarter." And
then I send a gif of like passing a beer.
kind of. We can't wait to get our Kickstarter clean chips, but it's never going to happen. So thank you all so much. And thank you for watching at home.
Everybody.
Back these fabulous projects now on Kickstarter, celebrating its 10th year of funding fabulous projects like these.
Yay.
Happy birthday, Kickstarter. Happy birthday. In lieu of sending gifts to Kickstarter, back us instead. Okay, we love you. Good night.